evening, and you're very welcome to the programme coming from Milltown Malbay, and we're in the midst of the Willie Clancy Summer School. With lots of guests for you to meet. Looking forward to all of them over the next 2 hours, and lots of people here, of course, for the Willie Clancy Summer School, and you're very welcome to the programme. We're going to start off with Paddy Glacken, who's here with us in the OB unit in Milltown Malbay. You're very welcome to the programme, Paddy.
Thanks, Clare. Thank you very much.
Great to have you on, and we've been hearing your name recently around County Clare as well, for you were down in Doolin, I think.
I was in Doolin about 3 weeks ago playing at the festival. Very enjoyable. Liam O'Flynn and myself did a gig there on the Friday night, and it was a really, really nice night.
Okay, lovely.
Pity we couldn't have stayed around, but we had to break cover for home afterwards. But.
Okay, well, we're going to start with a few tunes from yourself.
Yeah,
what would you like to play for?
I'll start off with a jig. This is kind of a well-known tune called The Humours of Drina, but it's a version of it that I got from John Doherty, the fiddle player in County Donegal.
Lovely.
So.
Lovely stuff altogether, short and sweet. Paddy Glacken there, great stuff. Paddy, you mentioned the Donegal connection, and is there family connections with Donegal, or is that just the music that you've
No, it's a big family connection. My father was from County Donegal.
Fantastic.
And it was from him I was introduced to the music in a very general way, and then in particular to the Donegal sort of fiddle playing tradition through my meetings with John Doherty when I was very, very young.
Okay, and you were reared in Dublin, but you travelled up a lot to Donegal.
Yeah, born and reared in Dublin.
Yeah.
My mother's from Dublin, but her people were from County Mayo, and my grandmother played the melodeon. And my great grandmother was a fiddle player as well on my father's side.
Okay. So
it was from her that he got the music.
Okay, fantastic. So, and you know, there's 3 Glacken brothers we know, all great and superb fiddle players. So that's lovely stuff there. The Donegal connection is really evident in your playing. When you're down for the Willie Clancy Summer School, you don't teach, but you do another course during the week. Is that it?
Well, it is a form of teaching. It's basically a course introducing people to. It's basically giving people, I think, a context for the music. Mm-hmm. That's really what it's about. You don't actually teach tunes or song or whatever. There's a lot of history involved in it, but there's also a lot of context. So you're trying to explain to people who may not be players, trying to give them a better understanding of actually what's going on in traditional music. Okay,
very good. So it's for all age groups, and
it's for all age groups, and it's particularly catered for those who might feel who might feel a little bit sort of reticent about talking about music, even though they actually like it. Mm-hmm. And it's to try and broaden their understanding of what actually is going on in the music.
Very good. And do you enjoy that?
I do, absolutely, because it's a great chance to communicate with people.
Okay.
It's a great way, and people do come, and they come from all over the world. And they've got serious questions to ask about it, and it's just to try and give them that confidence to ask the questions, because sometimes they're intimidated when there are musicians around them.
Okay.
And when they hear musicians talking in the shorthand of music, which we all do, and we take it for granted that everybody knows what we're talking about, and the chances are they don't.
Yeah.
So it tries to offer them that chance.
And I suppose you sort of point them in the right direction then, in terms of who to listen to if you're talking about somebody that's very important in a certain.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're not prescriptive in any way, but basically if they ask questions about particular aspects of it, we try to point them in a direction that we feel would be a benefit to them.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah, that's great. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, all your work with the media down through the years is a help too in that regard.
Well, hopefully it is. I'm not very conscious of that, because they're 2 separate worlds.
Yeah.
When you're talking about traditional music and my work on RT, they were so very, very different.
Yeah.
They never crossed really.
Yeah. Okay.
In all the years I worked there.
Yeah.
But obviously working in that area has to be of some benefit to you at some stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've access to so much great stuff all the time as well.
Absolutely, yeah. But then again, that's through the archive and the Irish Traditional Music Archive. Mm-hmm. I mean, the access that people have nowadays to music it's almost too good in some ways when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because the notion of the search for the music has disappeared. So back in the 70s, and I'm not kind of looking back, through rose-tinted glasses at the 70s or the 60s, but the idea of travelling to meet a musician was a big issue. Now you click a button on a phone, and he's there in front of you, or she's there in front of you. It doesn't matter. And I think sometimes that sort of easy access can be a disadvantage.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's that the happiness of pursuit has gone out of it.
It's gone completely, It's so easy to get.
So the passion is kind of nearly gone as well. Yeah,
I think it removes the excitement out of it.
Yeah. You're so
because
right,
I remember, in my late teens, when I first learned to drive, the idea of driving to Northwest Donegal to hear John Doherty playing the fiddle was quite extraordinary. You'd be looking forward to it, and it was an adventure. Yeah. And the adventure was as much about speaking to him as it was about hearing him play. And that was, and I think that element of it, and whereas I welcome all the developments that are there, I think, I think sometimes there's something kind of missing.
Yeah, you're so right, so true. We'll get another tune out of you. I know you're in a fierce hurry. You've got another appointment, and I'm really grateful for you to come along to play tunes for us.
We'll see, what will I try? I don't know what I'm going to try. We'll just... Try this. I don't have a name for it, so I just give it a... Absolutely lovely stuff. Really, really nice. And thanks a million, Paddy, for coming along to talk to us. We'll do it again sometime.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And hopefully you won't be in such a hurry.
But, okay, that's great, Claire. Thanks very much.
Thanks a million. Yeah. We might just go back to studio and take a short break. We've lots more musicians for you to meet on the programme this evening. And we might also take a track later on as well from Jackie Daly and Matt Cranich new CD. One of the many, many things that was launched on Sunday here. And anyway, first of all, we'll take a short break. So thanks.
This Willie Clancy week, make the Belbridge House Hotel Spanish Point your #1 venue. With an incredible lineup of the finest musicians playing all day and on into the wee hours, right through the festival. And when you need to stop for a break, you'll be able to enjoy the finest of fresh food in the bar and restaurant. Don't forget, for great days and nights of music and entertainment, make the Belbridge House Hotel your #1 choice this Willie Clancy week.
Any time is a good time to treat yourself to a cool, refreshing glass of Avonmore Supermilk. Proud sponsors of the Clare FM Breakfast Show, Monday to Friday from 6 to 9. Avonmore Supermilk. Let your little heroes shine.
Clare County Council would like to inform owners of commercially rateable properties that from the 1st of July it is their responsibility to notify the local authority of a change in occupation, sale of property, or if the property becomes vacant. A Section 32 declaration form must be completed and submitted to the local authority no later than 2 weeks after a change in occupation of the property. Failure to comply will result in a penalty being incurred by the owner to a maximum of 2 years' rates. Further information can be viewed on Clare County Council's website clarecoco.ie or contact 065 682 1616 for more details.
Ennis Home Furniture. New arrivals in our suites with 311s available in 4 colours starting from just $995. Ennis Home Furniture, Quinn Road Business Park, Ennis.
You're with the West Wind on Clare FM.
And you're very welcome back to the programme here on this Tuesday evening during Scoil Willie Clancy. And we've got a young lady here on the harp, Fhlannagáin, all lined up, and a little bit of a feat to get the harp into our OB unit in such a short space of time. I think I frightened you there into bringing it in 10 seconds flat, so you're very welcome to the programme.
Thanks a million. No hassle. I end up playing the harp on all sorts of weird situations. I used to play it. I had a gig in a cliff once, actually, and I was also the private harpist for a multi-millionaire in the Lebanon. I used to play in his palace and stuff. So
okay, so you've done it all, really.
I have. This is just another weird place to transport my harp to, and happy to do it. Thank you.
Very good. Small space, big space, doesn't matter. Anyway, you're very welcome, Una. And I'll just tell the listeners you're a harpist, you're a harper. Do you say harpist, harper? From Galway.
Harp obsessive, actually.
Yeah, okay. Harp player from Galway, and I haven't had you on the programme before. Are you teaching this week, or just down for enjoying yourself?
I'm just down for the crack.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm playing the sessions, and I'm a very beginner set dancer, and have an almighty crack with my amazing teacher Mary Clancy every morning, dragging myself out of bed for that, and then going and playing tunes all night and repeat and as necessary for 5 days.
Very good. So that's great. You can just go along to the dancing in the morning, and then you've got your own music in the afternoon. I know that you do a lot of teaching yourself in Galway, in Athenry area, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I teach quite intensively at the moment, and I'm the head of Irish traditional music in Athenry Music School. And Athenry Music School is a small collective of teachers, and what we endeavour to do is provide fun, positive, inclusive music education for the people of Athenry and beyond.
Okay.
And we started out 5 years ago with 4 teachers and 60 students, and 5 years on we have over 26 staff and we have over 400 students.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
And you're the main, are you the only person teaching the harp, or?
I'm the only person teaching the harp, yeah. In fact, so far as I'm aware, I'm the only full-time harp teacher in County Galway. I could be wrong. Now please come and tell me I'm wrong if I am. I'd love to hear if there's anybody else out there. We can talk and let's do stuff and let's interact and have different students play with each other and stuff. But yeah, so far as I'm aware, I'm the harp person in East Galway.
Okay, very good. Listen, before we say any more, let's get you playing the harp. Okay.
Right.
Enough talking.
Right. Absolutely. Here goes.
So what are you going to play for us?
3 jigs. The first one is called the Roll and Wave, and I'm going to play a tune, jig in F sharp minor, that I can't remember, it's got a weird name. I think maybe Wally Range, maybe you'd know it. And then the third one is composed by Charlie Lennon. It's called The Handsome Young Maidens.
Okay, F sharp minor, that can't be easy on the harp, or is it easy? I mean, a few little levers up and down, is it?
Well, actually, so the way the harp works is, once you get the harp set, it's just as easy to play in one key as it is in another. The tricky part is if there's an accidental, or what we call just a sharp
in the middle of the tune.
Yeah. So with this tune, there is actually a fun C natural and C sharp change. So maybe if you listen carefully, you'll hear it. But yeah, once I have it set for F sharp minor, I'm good to go.
Yeah, good to go. That's great. So you're good to go now anyway. So here we go. Lovely. Absolutely lovely there, Una. Really, really nice. Lovely mystical sound has just filled the OB unit here. It's really, really lovely, really delicate. Were you always attracted to playing the harp?
Actually, no. So I like my story towards playing harp because it's definitely unconventional. I started music when I was 3, and my mum and dad started me on fiddle, and they're both really passionate about Irish music. And I was not. I was really keen on looking cool like my dad when he played flute in sessions, and being a part of my family when they'd sing songs. But the practice thing was not high on my list of priorities at all. So when I was 11, I was pretty mediocre, as happens when you're not putting in the time, and I was still in love with playing, but really the idea of it rather than actually doing it. And my mum was great, and she brought me to a flat, and she said, look, it's time you kind of made your own choice. What would you like to play? So she brought me all around the competitions, so I could hear like the box and the flute and banjo, and kind of get informed about what I thought I would like to play. And I was just interested in the pizza planet. Sorry, there was a pizzeria in the Fhla town that year. I was like, oh, pizza. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were a big part of my childhood, so pizza was very important. And I was not interested at all. But there was a B&B that we were staying at, and the woman who was in the B&B used to play the harp, so she had it left out as kind of a decoration in the breakfast room. And I was like, every morning. So after the week, my mom goes, so do you think you liked anything in the competitions that you'd like to play? And I was like, no, not really. And she was like, would you ever think maybe you'd like the harp? And I was like, oh well, yeah, I suppose I wouldn't mind it. Like, so I wasn't. It took somebody with more insight about what I preferred to set me on the path than myself, and it took. I got Mom was amazing and got me a harp and a harp teacher. My harp teacher, Kathleen Loughnane, was incredible. She was so positive and brilliant and really enthused me. So finally, at the age of 14, after 11 years of music tuition, I started practicing of my own volition.
Yeah, very good.
11 years of nagging. So.
Okay, you were only 3 at the beginning.
That's true.
I mean, how much passion can a 3-year-old have? Really? Okay.
That's true.
But anyway, you got the bug in time, and you've taken off. You might play another few tunes for us, will you?
I'd love
what would you like to play?
So I'm going to play 2 hornpipes, and these are in a very different arrangement style. So I'm really inspired by the playing of Martin Hayes, and this is 2 hornpipes from, I think, his area. One is called the Hills of Coor. I don't know what the other one is called. Maybe you'd know. Okay. And yeah, the
Hills of Coor is actually this area.
Yeah,
West Clare.
Okay, West Clare. Yeah. Okay, Chini Mackers. God help
Coor
me,
just
Martin Hayes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm my secondary school geography teacher. I'm also sorry. And my father, John Fhlannagáin from Kerfin, County Clare. I'm also very sorry.
It's okay. They all forgive you.
So here goes. Oh God. There we go. It's a lovely little moment of how not to set the harp. Okay.
It's okay. It's live radio. Well, that's absolutely lovely, Una, and thanks so much for coming along to talk to us this evening. And I know long may you have great success with your teaching, because I know you're doing wonderful work, and also enjoy the rest of your Willie Clancy week.
Holliers.
Your Holliers and your dancing and your playing and all the rest. So thanks so much for coming along to us. We're going to go back to studio now and take... did you want to say something?
Yeah, finally that. Go to athenrinemusicschool.com if you want to hear about what we're doing. We have a massive programme with 80 harp students, and it's our job to normalise the harp. So come along if you're interested. And finally, if you're having trouble getting your child to practice, just have faith. It'll only take 11 years of threatening, nagging, bribery and pizza.
Okay, thanks a million, Una. That's great to talk to you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
This Willie Clancy week, make the Belbridge House Hotel Spanish Point your #1 venue.